Hey everybody, it's the gun crazy guy. I've been asked several times and been in the debate several times of what's better, hand loaded or factory ammunition. Um, I think it's a lot of matter of preference, but I will tell you there is nothing wrong with hand loading your own. Um, if you're set up to do it, there's my press and there's my handgun press and there's my tumbler. But the thing is, you gotta quality control right wise, hand loading, you control a lot more quality than they do at the factory. Like I check the first five and then I check every fifth from there on. But I just wanted to run you guys through the basics of hand loading. This is not to mean a how to, but this is a if you're interested, here's how you start. Okay, I run an old school single stage press. Okay, super old, but super user friendly, super easy to use. Couple things you gotta have. Obviously, gotta have a press. You have to have a way to dispense powder. Do it however you want. You can use the measuring kit, which is a system of spoons, basically. Or you can pick one of these up at a flea market. This is a super old RCBS. You adjust your powder shot right here. I've got it mounted on a block of wood with a box of hand cast 38 caliber lead. You got to know your powder. I shoot 48.95. A simple Google search will give you all the answers you need on powder. You need a set of dies. There's the book. There's the decapping die. And you need a way to clean your cases. Okay, but I just want to run you through the basic steps. I'm going to briefly skip to the actual loading steps. But the basics is you want to take an empty, a fired case. You put your decapping die. See the little pin in the end of the die? Put it in where this die goes. Okay? That's the bottom of the die. Right there. The pin will stick through, down here. That's your bullet seat, your shell holder. So you want to take empty brass. You can use a lube pad. You want to put just a little bit of lube on it. Maybe I'll do a video on that later, like case prep, how to get one ready to load. But you run it through one stroke of the press. That will deprime it and have it ready, okay? Then you stick it in here. Use a case trimmer to cut it to length. Check it on a headspace gauge. And you end up with prepped brass, okay? Now you have to prime it. Do that with a hand primer. Like I said, I may do the first steps in another video if you guys are interested. But here we are at prepped cases. You can see I've already loaded a few. What I was talking about is I check, the first four right here. I check every shot, and then I check every fourth one. Okay, that's just a loading block, just a shell tray, homemade, made out of a couple pieces of wood there. Nailed onto one piece of wood, okay? But you need a scale, and you need a reloading manual. Okay. Step one, real simple. Find your bullets. Don't ever trust what's on the box. Weigh it. You can see that is a 53 grain. Obviously we know it's not a boat tail because the end is flat. We do know it is a hollow point. So we're going to come to our manual. We know we're using 4895. So we find IMR 4895. We find the muzzle velocity that we want. I'm loading 25. That's 2800. 25.8 is 2900. I'm loading about 25.5, which should give me somewhere in the neighborhood of 2850. These are more of a tactical setup. I'm not shooting for just uber accuracy, so I'm gonna try to do this one-handed. So we've prepped the brass, we've got it primed. We're gonna come over here, okay? Let me see if I can prop my phone up. One shot of powder. Now we got powder. You can't probably see it, but anyway. The first few, pour the powder in here, visibly check it, make sure you're loaded right. Now we're just going to set it in the press. It's super simple. We're going to take a bullet that we have weighed and verified and matched our numbers to. We're just going to set it on the end of the case. Push it down just a little bit so that it stays. See, it's a little crooked. It don't matter. We're going to run one stroke. Press is locked. The drum's all the way to the bottom. The stroke's all the way to the top. See up in there? The bullet's all the way up. Pull it back out. Check the round is seated. The round is seated. There you go. One loaded round. There's so many steps here. I can go into more detail later, like choosing powder. Bullets are a preference. I won't even touch that subject. If you have questions, I'll be happy to answer them, but it's opinion and preference. Powder is about the same way, but you've got rifle powders and handgun powders, and you got pellet and extruded and extruded pellet and whatever. You do what you want to do. I like the 4895. The way you get your shot, to me, in different ways to do it. But I can do some of this stuff more in depth, especially case prep. But that's the basics. That's your quick once over how to. I hope I helped some of you guys out. You see how simple it is. It's not as bad as everybody thinks. You're not going to blow yourself up if you use a little due diligence and concentration. I'm going to get back to loading these. I do believe once you start, you load your whole tray. That way the humidity, the temperature, everything's the same for that batch. This will be 50 rounds right here. So, you guys have a great day. I hope I helped a little bit. If you have any questions, shoot me a message. I'll be happy to do what I can. Hope y'all enjoyed. This is the Gun Crazy Guy.